Through Syracuse, which is my program here in Florence, we have different trips that we can sign up for that are organized by the university. So this past weekend I went to Assisi for the day. Italy has 20 regions, which are almost equivalent to states, and each region has a capital. So Florence is the capital of the Tuscany region, but in Umbria, which is the region we went to, there is Assisi, and you can see it in the distance there. We went there to see and learn about the Basilica of St. Francis de Assisi, who was born and also died in Assisi. In 1228, this church was appointed by the Pope as a basilica, which means it has a high level of importance. This particular basilica was actually built in two different time periods. The bottom part of it was built during the Romanesque period, and that's reflected in the architecture, and then the top part is more Gothic architecture. Back in the medieval times, this town of Assisi was sort of like the Vatican. It was very important as a religious stop, as it still is today. We went into the basilica and looked at all the frescoes on the wall, which are wall paintings, and they're known as the poor man's Bible because back then a lot of people couldn't read, but they could see what was going on through the stories in the frescoes on the walls. We were asked not to take pictures inside, so I stole some from the internet so you could see a little bit of what we got to see. The frescoes lined all the walls of the different parts of the basilica, and this is St. Francis where he's actually buried. So we got to go in and kind of walk around there, and there was a really interesting vibe that I felt, and I actually felt compelled to do the sign of the cross and kind of pay a little homage to him, even though I'm not super religious. Long story short, St. Francis was a huge revolutionary that changed how society thought. Especially religious society first thought that the material world was really bad and a form of temptation, but St. Francis kind of said that the physical world is a gift from God that we should celebrate. He's now known as the patron saint of animals, and if environmentalism was a concept back then, he would have been using that word. I really enjoyed hearing about all the history and how that history was translated to the people back then through art, and being able to see such an important religious stop that I might not have seen otherwise.